Hello, everyone, and welcome on into OneSoccer.ca. Annie Petrillo, Gareth Wheeler, Oliver Platt with you. And we welcome in our special guest, Phil Santos, head coach of Valour. Phil, we've got so much we want to dive into with you. But of course, we know that there was a really big game this week where the 2022 Canadian champion was crowned. It was Vancouver defeating Toronto FC in penalties. And it was the first time that Vancouver won the Canadian championship since 2015. So just their second title ever. And we know how much that this meant to the crowd. All you had to see was watching the game, Cropper in tears at the end of it all. But I also want to get your thoughts on it because you were in it. Like for the longest time, you were part of the Vancouver franchise. And you know that you've made many finals. But again, 2015 at that point had still been the only one that the organization had won, beating Montreal. What do you think this meant to the fans and to the players?
A lot. I remember last year how it was such a target for us, and it didn't happen. Circumstances were very different at the time, and us starting the first part of the season in Salt Lake City, and then we didn't even know if there was going to be a Canadian championship until later. And but I know how the organization was so driven to win this competition and what it meant for the Whitecaps and for everyone involved. And, I speak to Vanni, I speak with a lot of the members of the organization still, and they said it out loud from the beginning. This was their main competition. This was more important than making an MLS playoff. So they targeted the competition, and good for them. I think that it's good for the fans, and you saw what it meant for the fans too, and how everyone worked around this game. So at the end of the day, the competition is the big winner here, and we know that there's so many good cups around the world, and it's always a competition that is a little bit behind what the championship means. But I think that in Canada, it's a competition that still needed to grow and needs to grow. And I think we probably had one of the best finals for the Canadian Championship.
Agreed. This has been a long time coming for Vancouver. It's obviously been a process from the point where the Santos brothers came in and ran that show. Moving on from Alfonso Davies, there was great squad turnaround, Phil, and the squad is still being built before our eyes. And in fact, Vancouver had to go through your side, Valour, on their way to winning this championship. Have you seen the progression in the group? Have you seen the progression in this team and the direction that the club is taking itself right now?
Yeah, of course. I follow them. I follow all three MLS teams or three Canadian MLS teams a lot, and I saw where they were. Obviously, there's a curious side of mine to see how this team is going to progress and how the Whitecaps would progress this year. And it's just a natural behavior. You were there for so many years, so still have a lot of friends there. And I think when we played them, they were in that turning point. They weren't doing very well at the beginning, and then they had structurally changed things a little bit, played a little bit in a 4-4-2, and then went back to a back three with a front three, and you saw that they decided to stick to that and build around that. But I think that at the end of the day, there's no science to it. It's bring in the right players, have good players in your roster, and your chances to win are going to be bigger. And I think that's what they did. The addition of a Kubas, the Ryan Gold of this world, the Lucas Cavallini in a good form. I think the explosion of a player like Ryan Raposo in the position, in the role that they have, a bit more stability in the back three position. So there's a lot of good things happening for them. Now, I also know that when you win, because I had the chance to experience it in San Francisco, there's a big hype and there's a lot of emotions that goes through it. But in a bit of time, it's going to be forgotten, and you have to move on and go to the next chapter. And the next chapter is going to be what they need to do in the league and league play. So that's for them to find that consistency also in that competition.
Yeah, Vanni Sartini now has to get his team going again, as you mentioned, for league play, and then they'll start to look ahead to CONCACAF Champions League. But, this is a tournament that we've seen in this type of style since 2008. And then, of course, we saw the injection of the CPL teams and other teams in 2019. So pretty special for Vancouver to win this for the first time. All right, so here's a look at the tournament history. Beginning in 2008, you can see it's been dominated by Montreal and Toronto. Toronto with a record 8 titles, but yes, Vancouver getting their first since 2015. Here's their head coach, Vanni Sartini.
All right, Vanni, you guys are now Canadian champions for the second time. It was a long tournament. You guys fought hard, but now you got to finish with a win. What does it feel?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, very happy. Also, with the fans, we won everything, but also because we clearly deserved to win in the 90 minutes. I think it was very unfair. They scored a goal, fantastic goal, great cross by Bernardeschi, but before the corner was a foul on Ricketts, it wasn't whistled, so, soccer won today.
I mean, obviously this was a big crowd for tonight, one of the biggest crowds we've seen in a while for the Whitecaps. How did it feel for you on the sidelines? Do you feel like it gave a boost to your team, and what do you make of it?
Yeah, of course. I think that the fan too put the energy on that penalty of Osorio to go into on the post, and we showed that if we all work together, fans, club, it's very hard to beat us.
It was a very disciplined performance defensively, other maybe than the goal. You guys held strong, did a lot of hard work off the ball. What did you make of your team's performance and how they really bought into that defensive side of game?
Yeah, but it wasn't only just defensive. Defensive is the basic, but again, the first half finished 3-0 for us. Nobody can say anything. We destroyed them, and we deserve to win.
And then now you get to compete in the Champions League. How big of a boost do you think that'll be for your club?
I'm very happy. Yeah, it's a boost, of course. It's something new, but also it's a boost now because we need to go to the playoff, and so it's a boost for this season. But also we are also honored to represent Canada next year in the Champions League.
And Vanni, I know you're a bit of a wine connoisseur.
Yeah.
Do you have anything special planned in terms of wine after a big result like this?
Well, today, whatever happens. I think a lot of Chianti tonight for sure.
Okay, there you go. He's going to be taking down the Chianti as we take a look at who was the best young Canadian player in this one, and it was Raposo. Phil, we're not going to show the video, nor are we going to ask you to do this if you win, or maybe you want to, which of course is the barrel roll and the shirt
off.
Shirt off.
You taught him that, didn't you, Phil?
By the way.
No, I think you can't fabricate these things. You have to go with your personality, and
Exactly.
Vanni was like that. Every day was a little surprise box coming into the club. You never knew there were moments where what's going to come out of there today, and you just can't fabricate that. And I'm not the type. I don't know. Maybe one day, if it happens, it's again spontaneous. Something will come out, but I don't think it's going to be that type of celebration. But we love him for that, and I think that he let himself go, and good for him. It's one of those images that are going to stay, and you'll remember because it's recorded now.
Yeah, Mourinho running the touchline, Conte jumping into the crowd, and Sartini doing a barrel roll and taking off his shirt. So the game, you need to be able to up your game, Phil. You need something in your back pocket for that big moment.
I agree with you. I agree, Garrett.
Maybe a knee slide, something along those lines.
Yeah.
I don't know.